Hello, people. We're late today. This is Kavita Kapoor Khalsa, and I have Radhika with me. And we're going to be doing this show anyway because we had this guest called Lorena Blassen from Europe who was to join today for the topic marriageable age. She's nowhere to be found. She didn't join in. Apologies, but I don't even know what happened. So once we get to know, we'll let you know. But having said that, we have this topic called marriageable age and a few topics, so a few questions over there. So let's discuss instead having a guest online. And if you have questions, please write into us and we'd be more than happy to kind of address them. Hi, Radhika.
Hi, Kavita.
This is a last minute thing that we're doing. I know we've never done this kind of a thing, but yeah, let's just do it anyway. And what fun can we have? Sometimes guests don't show up when you're really, really waiting for them. How do you respond to that?
By asking a question, what else is possible and
what's right
going on?
Yeah, because we were to have her last week and something didn't work out. And this week too, something has not worked out, which is okay. So tell me, let's discuss this topic called marriageable age, because Lorena is just 18 and she's become a facilitator and certified facilitators. So the topic which I choose with certain facilitators is to do with how they are, where they are in life. Having said that, what do you think is there a marriageable age? Should there be a marriageable age? What do you get?
So with this question, thoughts like timeline come into my mind. And I have been researching upon this issue and thinking about what's the correct time, and are we going according to the timeline or are we not going according to the timeline?
But whose timeline are we going according to? Like whose timeline? Who has set this timeline? I wonder. I mean, for me, if somebody asks, should there be a timeline? I'm like, no. You should marry when you feel up to it. Not because ye nahi kiya to tumhari life jhand hai, or you'll not get a partner, you'll not have this, bacche nahi ho payenge, biological clock ticking, and that's what doctors say that. Yeah. But today we have IVF. I mean, see, if you really want to marry for kids, please don't, because you can have kids irrespective of whether you have your biological clock or not. So science is advanced. But having said that, a lot of people say that your sexual hormones start kicking in. So there has to be an age, and you can't just have sex because marriage is a legal way of having it. Okay, but does that even
social form also?
Does that even hold true in today's world?
With new generation, I don't think it's applicable, but with the old generation, there is still solidity with some rigid points of views that, hey, just get married for the sake of the society. And
no, but we still have a lot of old people parenting young children and pushing them into getting married. And then the marriages don't work out. And then they blame their children that you couldn't even make marriage work. And then we create toxicity amongst ourselves because we can't go back home because broken marriage is not something that we're really comfortable with. So how much of that is creating toxicity in the world with relationships? And then we believe that marriage as an institution is falling because nobody wants to do that. But why would they do that? Because you're pushing marriage as a reality on people, on children. I mean, if somebody feels up to it at 40, they want to marry, why not? Because they've lived their life, now they're looking out for a companion. And it's okay. Like I married at 40. The whole time in between was so much of chaos and so much of disorder with marriage. And I thought I'm not even cut out for marriage. But now I feel it's a beautiful thing. Like you can consider only when you're ready for it. Not because people are afraid that koi nahi milega. How much is that an implant in our life,
This implant is very big issue in India. Like you are missing out on life. You are missing out on things to do with your certain age. things to do with your kids. Like at 26, you should have two beautiful kids and a
Yeah.
puppy and a set lifestyle, and then you should have certain holidays, and that's a
That's the way, that's like a perfect ideal picture. All the utopian ideas that have been given to us. And if you can't follow that, then you're such a loser in life. How
yeah,
much of that is a reality that we have been living and living as per whose timeline and whose standards? So,
yeah.
for me, I mean, if I'm not taking sides, but is age significant in marriage? Maybe not. We make it significant, of course, because we feel that abhi kar lo, nahi to baad mein nahi milega. It's something like, if you buy something today and tomorrow you find the same thing in a sale, how terrible you feel. So the whole thing is that if you get married early and then later on you find better prospects, you feel so terrible about getting married early, right? So
Yeah,
that's, yeah. So, what age should one marry? I mean, legally, yes, you are entitled, but that's only legally. So, how many people are really enjoying the law with marriage? Leads them to then disobeying the law with marriage, and then the divorces happen and all that shit happens.
could you talk about today's youngsters who are losing hope in marriage and seeing a relationship as a failure?
So, how much of that have they picked up from their parents that they're resisting and fighting against, that they want to prove a point that it doesn't work? I would suggest that, you do it when you feel up to it. It's not because marriages haven't worked or your parents couldn't make it happen that you are a failure too. Yes, I mean, but what are your, pointers for which you would like to get married? It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a simple choice. It's about having
Okay.
fun with a partner that you would like to be with, and you can call it a marriage, call it any other name, call it partnership or whatever, but just have fun in whatever you do, in whatever choices you make. So
Yeah,
it's
fun is the
not about
main
proving
element.
that marriage is bad and I don't want to do it. Just don't do it because somebody's forcing you to do it. Do it because you would like to do it. And don't do it because you're going to get good clothes and, jewelry and stuff, because that's that's a lame
Brownie
excuse.
points.
Brownie
Yes,
points, yeah.
some people get married for the brownie
I mean,
points.
look at that movie Queen, that she goes for a honeymoon and everything. That's her incentive. But when she realizes that she can do that herself, she doesn't have to marry for that. So everywhere you were told that only with your partner can you go travel abroad. Can you please now recognize that you have the power and the potency that you can actually go on your own?
Could you throw some light on this direction? So with the society and the culture, there is no ease with not marrying. That there are no restaurants for single people, or there are no outings for single people. So how does one take a leap to not take the
No, so
idle
there
thought
are
of?
outings. A lot of people love traveling solo. A lot of people love going out, and they have a lot of groups are there who would like to hang out together. But at the same time, it requires a lot of courage to stand out and be that different and travel single. Like, you will be like, okay, अकेले तुम्हारे साथ क्या क्या हो सकता है? Like how Queen is talking about that journey that you take on your own. Go jump. Okay, just go on your own. But that too, in that, parents, feel sorry for the daughter and they allow her to go. But what if parents did not have to feel sorry and they just allow you to go anyway? So parents have to take that leap of faith, or the child who wants to be single has to take that leap of faith that yes, I can. Unfortunately, we are just instilling our children with a lot of fear that if you don't, then something terrible is going to happen. And if they do, something terrible still happens to them anyway. If I
think
wasn't
audience, if they are listening to this part, please do not instill fear into your children, or teach them how to go according to fear. Like,
Yeah.
let's not accommodate fear.
let's just, go beyond that and see what we can do on our own. And the day you are not dependent or not needy of somebody, I think then that is a relationship, that's a beautiful relationship to be in, because you're not dependent on somebody. Then you are doing your bit, the other person is contributing their bit, and it's fun to be together.
That's such a good taking from this conversation.
Yeah. So what's right about this? So that's it for now, people. And if you want to know more, join our marriage or no marriage class, which is coming up next month, and have more fun and have more ease and have more clarity on this topic if you're struggling with it.
That's it for now, guys.
That's it for now, guys. Thank you. And we'll come up with a beautiful facilitator talking about the topic, and any topic that you want to know, just write into us. And we'll be more than happy to talk about it. Let's talk about this and not make it so difficult. Bye.
Bye bye.